Hi guys, someone actually asked me to do a video showing the pens I use for calligraphy, so here it is. I used to do calligraphy a few years ago, but since I have not practiced as much recently, I like to take things slow and start by planning my letters with a pencil first. This helps me get the spacing and layout right before I start inking. In this clip from my Adonai video, I kept erasing the NAI because the spacing was off, and that's exactly why I like to start with a pencil first. And sometimes a letter can end up bigger or smaller than the rest. This is from my Elroy video, and you can see the difference between the O and the I, and I was really glad I was still working with pencil. Also, sometimes your hand just does its own thing and it can lead to a little disaster. Like in this Jesus video, which is the next one I'll be posting by the way, so make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss it. So my hand ended up making a stroke completely opposite of what my reference picture had. And so yeah, these are some of the reasons why, if you're a beginner or if you have not practiced in a while like me and want to get back into it, it's always a good idea to start with a pencil. Next, I use this thinnest brush pen that I have. This is me using this pen. It's perfect for tracing over the pencil lightly. Also, here's a small tip. Please erase the pencil marks at this stage, not at the end. Do not use an eraser over thick brush pen calligraphy. It will mess the ink and it might even tear the paper. In my very first calligraphy video, I waited until the last stage to erase and it actually scraped the paper a bit. Go watch that video if you want to see me mess that calligraphy up. Next up is the second thinnest brush pen. This one's thicker than the first, but not bold like a highlighter nib. Both of these are by Brustro and I really like them because the black is really rich and bold and does not look dull on the paper. I use this one either after the thinnest one or instead of the wide nib, depending on how much thickness I need. This is me using it. You'll notice it's just enough to give weight to the letters without overpowering them. I could not have used the highlighter wide nib pen here because the strokes are not just that thick, as you can see, but here's me using the white highlighter pen. Notice how much bolder and thicker the letters look with this one. Now a little tip, I only recommend using this white nib highlighter pen for straight stroke letters like A, N and T. Did I just spell and? You can also use it for letters like T, P and R, but just for the straight strokes, not the curves. This pen is pretty old, so the brand name has actually faded away, so I'm sorry I do not remember the brand. I also have this thickest brush pen from the same set as the thin and thinner ones from Brustro, but I don't use it very often. Sometimes it makes the strokes thicker than you intend, so only use it if you have good control over your brush. Anyway, then I go back to one of the thin brush pens to smooth out the strokes. This is me using this pen to basically adjust anything that does not look right. If you've watched my videos, you know that I have a pretty shaky hand, so some strokes end up wavy instead of straight. These pens are perfect for fixing those lines. Now these are the colored brush pens that I have. Honestly, I don't have much experience with colored brush pens, and the colors are a bit lighter than I expected, as you can see. But this is the brand and here's the calligraphy I created using them. What I don't like about these pens is that first of all, you can't really trace over pencil with them, because if you do, the ink can smudge and even tear the paper a bit like I mentioned earlier. So if a stroke does not turn out straight and you try to fix it, you'll notice a pretty obvious color difference. Then you end up having to go over all the letters with that pen just to match the corrected stroke. Here is an example of what happened to my calligraphy once. And that's a wrap for this video. These are the pens I use and the way I combine them to create my calligraphy pieces. If there's anything else you'd like me to cover, like more tips or more tutorials, comment below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching.